Battlefield 5 is one of the most iconic games in the entire series, with beautiful graphics, amazing gameplay mechanics, and is overall a great game. However, the game is not perfect, and there are several core issues and things that you must know about before you buy it. But the game is set during World War II, where you'll play across many battlefields. You play as a soldier in massive multiplayer battles, or you follow the gripping story in the single-player mode. The ultimate goal is to achieve victory in battles, whether through strategic team play, overcoming difficult missions. The world of Battlefield 5 is vast and immersive, featuring destructible environments that really add to the realism of the battle. The game is also known for its stunning graphics and attention to detail, where every battlefield will feel authentic and dynamic. The nature of the game is fast-paced and action-packed, which requires quick thinking and teamwork to succeed. What makes the game truly stand out is the focus on large-scale battles, with up to 64 players. Then you add the dynamic weather and the destructible environment that adds a true layer of unpredictability and immersion. And it is this combination of realism, strategy, and chaos that makes the game a true standout. Now, in terms of the main gameplay, it is all about massive battles and engaging single-player missions that both the more casual but also hardcore player can enjoy. The primary objective is to experience an intense World War II combat scenario, complete a ton of objectives, and work together with your team. So in multiplayer mode, you can choose from many different classes. This could be assault, medic, support, and recon, and each class has very unique roles and abilities. For example, an assault player could focus on frontline combat equipped with a rifle and explosives, while a medic would focus on healing and reviving teammates. This class system really encourages teamwork and strategic planning, where you must work together with your team to capture and defend key points. You could play the support character, where you might start by laying down suppressive fire so your team can advance to the next point. As the battle then progresses, you have to constantly adapt your strategy based on the situation. Now, when you first start the game, you want to focus on the most basic mechanics. This would be shooting, healing, and vehicle operation. Then as you play, you'll unlock more advanced weapons, gadgets, and even vehicles. For instance, you might begin with the most standard rifle, but then later unlock more powerful firearms or even specialized equipment like an anti-tank mine. So this progression system will reward you for your performance and dedication, providing a good sense of growth and accomplishment. The game also features a dynamic weather system, which can impact the gameplay a lot. You could start a game with clear skies that could turn into a foggy battlefield, severely reducing visibility and forcing you to adapt your tactics. Additionally, the game has many different game modes. This could be Conquest, Breakthrough, and even Grand Operations, where the Conquest is more of a classic mode where teams fight to control a key point, while the Breakthrough game mode will involve attacking and defending sectors in a linear progression. Then you have the Grand Operations, a multi-phase mode that spans several in-game days, combining many different objectives and even game modes for a truly chaotic experience. And that brings me to my next point, the single-player campaign versus multiplayer mode. So the single-player mode is known as War Stories, and is divided into several short stories based on World War II, where each story will offer a very unique perspective and different gameplay experience. In multiplayer mode, the maps are really expansive and offer many different routes and strategies. Now, let's go further into some of the most unique and interesting features of the game. The first one is the dynamic destruction system. So in Battlefield 5, you can destroy basically the entire world, anywhere from buildings to structures. And it is not just for show, as it will impact the gameplay significantly by creating new strategies and even paths. For instance, if you find enemies hiding in a building, you can use explosives or a heavy weapon to blow up the wall, forcing them to come out in the open and fight. Alternatively, you could create a new path and opening by destroying an entire building, allowing your team to flank the enemy or to secure a position. It is this level of interaction with the environment that makes the game truly stand out, where every match feels dynamic and unpredictable. Another standout feature is the very dynamic weather system. The weather can change at any point during a match, going from clear skies to heavy fog or even rain, which can highly affect the visibility but then also alter your tactics. For example, a sudden fog could provide cover for a sneaky advance, while the rain might make it hard to see and hear enemies approaching. So this system adds an extra layer of realism and strategy, making the game more immersive but also challenging. Another standout feature is the game's big focus on team play through the class system and squad-based mechanics. The fact that there's so many different classes, each with very unique roles and abilities, provide a lot to the gameplay, as working together as a squad is mandatory for success, as you'll need to coordinate attacks, share resources, and revive fallen teammates in battle. This focus on teamwork really makes the game stand out from other shooters. Now, you might think with all these gameplay mechanics that the game is quite difficult, but it's actually not too bad, and it's quite well balanced for new but also experienced players. Now, the game doesn't hold your hand extensively, and there's a lot of learning through trial and error. So as a new player, you might find the initial learning curve quite steep, especially when figuring out the different classes, weapons, and strategies. For example, as a new player, you might struggle a lot with the recall of certain weapons, or how important timing can be for effective combat. This could even be seen with the more experienced players, where you can still find yourself in tough situations, such such as being outflanked by an enemy squad or being caught in the open during a dynamic weather shift. So therefore, the game caters to both casual and more hardcore players. So while the game leans to both casual and hardcore players alike, in order to enjoy this game, you must really like an intense and strategic gameplay experience. So the casual player can have a lot of fun with the different game modes and classes, but you will have to invest significant time in learning the mechanics fully, while the more hardcore gamer can really appreciate the depth and complexity of the gameplay that rewards teamwork, skill, and tactical decision making. Now, as you can tell by this video, the game is absolutely stunning, and that brings me to my next point: the graphics, the sound, and atmosphere. The graphics are beautiful and really bring the World War II setting to life. This could be seen with the detailed environment, the realistic lighting, and the very dynamic weather effects, which make every battlefield feel authentic and immersive. The sound design and music are equally as impressive, where the sound effects like gunfire, explosions, and ambient noises are highly realistic, truly enhancing the immersion. Then on top of it, you add this soundtrack, which can be both powerful but also emotional, really adding to the intensity of battle. That being said, the game is not perfect, and there are several pros and cons that we must cover. The first pro is a great variety of gameplay modes. There are so many things to do with Conquest, Team Deathmatch, and Grand Operations, so no matter your preference, there'll be something to enjoy, catering to both the casual but also hardcore gamer. The next pro is the dynamic destruction. The sheer ability to destroy buildings and structures add a really great strategic element to the gameplay, where every moment will feel unpredictable but also engaging, as you'll never know what might happen. And the final pro is the stunning graphics and realistic sound design. The game will offer you a highly detailed environment and quite realistic setting, where the visual quality really enhances the overall immersion. Then you have the sound effects and music that are also top-notch, truly adding to the immersive experience. This could be seen in the realistic noise of gunfire, explosions, and even ambient sounds that make the game feel truly authentic. And now for the cons. The first con has to be the learning curve. When you first start out, this game will not be easy, as it will take time to learn and master the quite realistic mechanics and the sheer depth of the gameplay. But while it takes time to master, it is also truly rewarding once you do. The next con is the system requirements. So while we mentioned the stunning graphics in the pro section, this will come at a cost, as the game will require a quite powerful PC in order to run smoothly, and I therefore highly recommend that you check out the system requirements before you even consider buying it. Now, with all that said, let's grade the game. And Battlefield 5 gets a solid 8 out of 10, and for several reasons. The graphics are truly impressive, with dynamic gameplay and a very immersive atmosphere. Then you add the sound design that is also top-notch, truly bring the World War II setting to life with stunning detail and realism. Additionally, the dynamic destruction system and the weather effects add a ton of realism to the gameplay. The game really excels in offering a varied but also strategic gameplay. This could be seen with the different classes and roles that highly encourages teamwork and coordination. Then you have the variety of game modes from Conquest to Grand Operations, catering to many different playstyles, both for the casual and more hardcore player alike. However, the game is not perfect and there are several drawbacks. The game has a quite steep learning curve that will require patience and practice. And on top of it, you add the need for a quite powerful PC, which is definitely also a barrier for entry. However, if you're a fan of realistic and very immersive first-person shooters with stunning graphics, dynamic destruction systems, and overall strategic gameplay, then Battlefield 5 is a must-buy for you, and it's absolutely worth your time and money. For more amazing games, click here.